My dad gave my brother a new car. When I got to the family dinner, my dad handed me a pair of cheap socks. He actually visits, he said. I looked at the socks and smiled, pretending to be okay. Cool, I said. Then he can pay your bills this month. Dad looked surprised. For a second, he didn't know what to say. I didn't wait. I left the room, got in my car, and called the utility company. That was the last family dinner I ever went to. My name's Jordan. I'm 33. I live alone in a quiet part of Portland and work a basic tech job. Nothing fancy, but enough to pay my bills. And, until yesterday, my parents' bills too. Here's what no one tells you about being the responsible one. They don't treat you like the favorite. They treat you like a tool, only needed when something breaks. You're not family, you're the backup plan. The one they call when they're in trouble. The one they expect money from, without thanks. It started small. I paid a phone bill. Then helped with rent. Then co-signed loans. Then fixed their internet during my work hours. And it never stopped. But I thought this birthday dinner would be different. I hadn't seen them in months. I brought wine, a gift for my mom, I even shaved. My younger brother Josh was already there. He barely works, always late on rent. But he's the one in family selfies. The one Dad talks about proudly at church. He had a brand new SUV in the driveway. A gift from my parents. You live too far to come for holidays, Josh said with a smirk. Guess you'll be alone again this year. I stayed quiet. I waited until dinner. Waited while they ignored the Christmas cards I'd sent. Waited until Dad toasted Josh for showing up. Then he gave me socks. They're thermal, Dad said. You bike to work, right? It wasn't the gift, it was what it meant. I pay half their mortgage. Their phone plans. Once, I wired money at 3 a.m. from a hotel bathroom because Mom said their heater broke. But I was still invisible. So I smiled, walked out, and made the call. The next morning, their lights went out. They called me 13 hours later, Mom, then Dad, then Josh. Voicemails, missed calls, a video of their dark kitchen with candles. I didn't answer. They didn't realize all the bills were in my name since 2020. I started helping during COVID. They never asked when I'd stop. So I stopped. I sat down, cracked a soda, and watched the panic roll in. You could have warned us. Your mother's cold, is that what you want? You're mad over socks? That one was from Josh, with a laughing emoji. I saved that one. Then Mom added me back to the family group chat. Mom, can we talk like adults? Dad, you've made your point. Josh, grow up, dude. Mom, you can't just cut off your family, that's not love. Me, you're right, it's not love, it's survival. Then I left the group chat, for good. Let's be clear. This wasn't about the socks, or the car. That was just the spark. The fire had been building for years. I paid off Josh's $3,000 gambling debt. He used some of it for concert tickets. I replaced Dad's laptop after he spilled whiskey on it. I paid $6,000 for Mom's dental work, and she told people she paid it herself. When I lost my job for 2 months, no one even checked on me. But I kept paying, kept helping, kept making excuses. Until now. Now they were cold, hungry, lost. And I wasn't helping. Then Josh posted a photo online, him and Dad smiling in front of the new SUV. Caption, still standing, still family, some people are just bitter. That wasn't clueless, that was war. So I did my own digging. Dad had been stealing from a joint bank account I set up for them. Little by little. Over $3,200 in total. I found out because he accidentally sent $600 to a car parts place under Josh's name. That's when I got serious. I printed everything. Bank statements. Utility bills. Venmo logs. Josh sent $500 to his girlfriend for the cabin I wasn't invited to. Texts mocking me. Emails asking for discreet help. Mom saying, you're doing better than your brother, you can help. I also asked my cousin Lily, she works in IT security, to check for shady stuff under my name. She found 2 things. Someone tried to open a credit card using my social. Someone tried to change the family internet's billing address. Guess whose names were on it? Josh, Dad, Mom. I wasn't angry anymore. I was calm, focused. I put all the proof into a folder called The Cost of Blood. I sent it to myself. BCC'd it to 3 trusted people. Backed it up twice. Because this wasn't just about family anymore. This was about protecting myself. And I'm done being the backup plan. I wasn't ready to share my story publicly yet. First, I needed to make sure they knew what was coming. So when their heat got shut off, no gas, no working furnace, and the landlord refused to help unless they paid, they finally called me again. This time, I picked up. Dad's voice was tense. He started with, "Jordan, I think we all overreacted." I stayed quiet. He added, "It's been a rough winter. Your brother, he's dealing with stuff. He's trying." I said, "Good, then he can pay your bills this month." He hesitated. "What do you want from us?" I replied, calm as ever, "Nothing. I'm just returning the favor. You used me like a backup plan. Now I'm treating you like a footnote." Then I hung up. That night, I started a blog. Title: My family gave my brother a car and me a pair of socks, so I shut off the power. Tagline: A guide to setting boundaries when love feels like a transaction. It wasn't revenge, it was finally letting go. They hadn't even seen the worst part yet. I showed up at Mom's birthday dinner right on time, 6 p.m. No big gift, just a cheap bottle of wine and a plain envelope. I didn't say I was coming, they probably thought I was gone for good. But I wasn't there to make peace, I was there to show them what walking away really looked like. Dad opened the door like he'd seen a ghost. "What are you doing here?" he asked. I smiled. Celebrating Mom, or was that invite just for the real family? No hug, no greeting, he just stepped aside. The living room was full. Mom, Josh, cousin Elise, always ready to laugh at someone else's pain. Dinner was set. The room looked cheerful, but it wouldn't stay that way. I placed the envelope in the middle of the table. Josh frowned. "What's that?" "Just a few things I thought we should all see." Inside were 3 things. A credit card in my name, someone else's signature. A receipt for a $1,200 phone delivered to Josh's house, billed to me. An email Mom left open on my iPad at Christmas. It read, "Dan always pays, he won't even notice." Dad grabbed the envelope, flipping through the papers, mumbled something about misunderstandings. I said, "Funny how all the mistakes seem to benefit you." Mom stood. "We were struggling, you used to help. What changed?" I looked at her. I stopped pretending we were family. Then I slid another paper across the table, a screenshot from my bank, a $600 wire to a car parts store, Josh's name, from my account. Josh's face went pale. "I thought that was your spare card," he said. "I was gonna pay it back." "When? Before or after you bought the PlayStation?" Silence. Mom sat down like the truth finally knocked her over. Dad clenched his jaw, trying to hold his ground. Then I played a voicemail from my phone. Mom's voice, pretending to be me, calling my insurance company, changing my policy, adding Josh as a dependent. I looked right at her. Didn't think I'd notice? She said nothing. I turned to Dad. "Still want to deny touching that joint account?" Silence again. Josh finally snapped. "This is insane. You're ruining the family over bills and a phone?" "No," I said. "I'm done pretending I was just helping. You used me, you lied, you stole, now you're shocked I stopped?" Then I pulled out one last thing, a handwritten note from their kitchen, ways to reduce dependency on Jordan. One line stood out, "Start moving bills to his name slowly, he won't notice." The room went silent. Josh walked out. Mom covered her face. Dad just stared at the wall. Then Dad asked quietly, "Are you trying to destroy us?" I stepped closer. "You broke me, slowly, one bill, one lie at a time, I'm just ending it all at once." I turned to leave, hand on the door. "Oh, and keep the socks, you'll need them when the rest of the bills hit." I walked out. I didn't go home, I just drove, no destination, just the road and the kind of quiet that comes after something inside you finally dies. I landed at a cheap motel 2 towns away, bad lighting, overbleached sheets, but it felt cleaner than anything I'd left behind. Next morning, 36 missed calls, 12 voicemails, 3 blocked numbers. And one text from Josh, "This isn't over." He was right, it wasn't. 3 days later, things got worse for them. Mom emailed me, she never emails, asked if I'd contacted the credit bureau, her card was frozen. I didn't answer. Then my old landlord called, someone claiming to be me had asked for my rental records. When asked for ID, they hung up. Desperate, sloppy, predictable. So I took the final steps. I cut ties, legally, financially, officially. I removed my name from every co-signed bill. Closed the shared accounts. Cancelled all auto payments for their utilities. Then I contacted my accountant. There was a small trust, some bonds, a few investments. I had listed my family as beneficiaries. I changed that. Now, the money goes to charities, cancer research, disaster relief, scholarships. Strangers who never lied to me. 2 weeks later, Mom's pharmacy called. A friend of mine worked there. "Dan," he said, "did you cancel her insurance?" "No," I said, "I just stopped paying for it. She's an adult, she can figure it out." But the final blow came when their landlord called me. He said my name was still on the lease. Not anymore. Within 2 days, I filed the paperwork, sent him proof of their income, missed payments, unpaid utilities. He was stunned. They made it sound like you just wanted to help. I laughed. No, they made it sound like I didn't have a choice. 3 days later, I got a Facebook message from Elise, my cousin who used to make fun of my clothes and call me Dan the doormat. She wasn't laughing anymore. She sent a screenshot of a group chat I wasn't in. Josh had posted a photo of his car with the caption, "Selling this week, need cash? Message me." People replied, "What happened to the job? Didn't your brother pay for everything?" Then Elise replied, "Guess the Bank of Jordan closed." I didn't answer, I just looked at the screen. Let them turn on each other. But the most satisfying part? A voicemail from Dad. It came in at 2:13 a.m. His voice was rough and slurred, probably drunk. "Jordan," he said, "you think you're some hero now? That you can just walk away? That you're some kind of victim?" He paused, then said something that told me everything I needed to know. "You were supposed to stay broken." That was it. They didn't see me as a son, just someone to use, as long as I stayed quiet and easy to control. But now? Now I was stronger than ever. Within a month, I moved to a new city. Not just a new place, an entirely new life. No one had my new address, my lease was under a different name, even my bills were in a system that hid my identity. I wasn't hiding, I was protecting myself. I bought a second phone. The old one went in a drawer, turned off forever. It held the numbers of people who only saw me as useful, not human. And just for closure, I mailed a letter to their house. No return address, just a copy of the lease cancellation and a sticky note that said, "Find a new safety net." I didn't sign it, they'd know it was from me. Weeks passed, then months. And finally, silence. Real silence. No emergency calls, no guilt trips, no texts asking for a little help with rent. Just peace, my rules, my life. And that peace? It was louder than any revenge could ever be. It's been 6 months since I walked away, with only an envelope in my hand and a kind of quiet that meant I wasn't coming back. And I've learned something: closure isn't always kind. It's not forgiveness or hugs or happy endings. Sometimes, closure is cold. It's sharp, like glass when it finally breaks and you stop pretending it was ever whole. They still try sometimes. Not Mom, she's too proud. But I see the signs. A friend from high school sent me a screenshot, a blurry photo of their dark living room. The caption, "Sometimes the people you raised forget who raised them." Josh commented, "Some people only show up when the lights are on." I almost laughed. Last I heard, they still didn't have power. They think I'll reach out first. Like I used to, driving 3 hours just to drop off Dad's blood pressure meds. Meds he later said he didn't need because real men don't get stressed. They think I'll text, or call, or send a "hope you're okay" just to test the waters. But here's the truth, I'm not thirsty anymore. I built a new life. A quiet apartment with white walls, dark wood floors, and a bookshelf full of books I chose. A coffee shop 2 blocks away where they know my name, but not my story. My fridge is full, my bills are mine. And every time my phone rings, it's someone I actually want to hear from. Not once have I missed being someone's backup plan. They didn't just lose me. They lost the comfort of having someone clean up their mess. Now they're on their own. And it shows. Word spread. My aunt, the one who laughed at my failure to launch, called me. She said, "I didn't know it was that bad. If you just said something." I hung up. She knew. They all knew. But laughing was easier than helping. The last time I heard from Dad, it was a letter. Messy handwriting, 3 pages of nonsense. Talk of family, forgiveness, bloodlines, and how it's not too late to fix things. I read it once. Then tore it up. I mailed the pieces back, 1 piece per envelope, no return address. He sent another one. This one was angry. "You'll regret this. You're still my son whether you like it or not." So I replied with 1 sentence. Typed, bold. "I was never yours, I was just useful." That was the end. Last week, I changed my number. New SIM card, new contact list. Anyone who made me feel like a walking wallet didn't get the update. I didn't make a big announcement. I just moved on. But I did leave 1 message, just for myself. I bought a new doormat for my apartment. Black letters on gray fabric, "Not your emergency exit." That's the real ending. No shouting, no breakdowns. Just peace. Not peace from making things right, but from finally walking away. Because sometimes healing isn't a family reunion. Sometimes healing is a door that locks, from the inside. And the bravest thing you can do is never open it again.